Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only. Hey, Ask Reddit, what's a red flag from an employer that people might not immediately recognize as a red flag? Great question, honestly. We look at red flags from people all the time, but corporations can be an even bigger problem than people. Top post in the thread, they're always hiring. I work at a place like this, and I totally agree. You might not immediately see that the hiring post never goes down on whatever platform you found it, but yeah, this usually means the company expects a very high turnover. After 2 or 3 years there, I was already a member of the old guard. Things are slowly getting better though, so there is that. They might be doing you a favor, honestly. Seems like it's time to get up and out. Muklan continues, many years ago I started an IT shop with a business partner who was supposed to be the money guy and nothing else, and he put a now hiring sign up to, quote, attract customers, and so you know I could replace you. Well, couple things wrong with that. One, anyone seeking employment at an IT shop should not need anything from an IT shop outside of some parts, but even then, anyone sufficiently skilled would know how to source those cheaper than our prices. Two, I walked away after 4 years of really stupid crap. Went corporate, life's been much better since, and yes, he did replace me with a tech who worked for minimum wage. Surprisingly, the replacement wasn't very good, as in, was unable to tell the difference between a desktop PC and a server. Oh God, you get what you pay for. The place lasted 2.5 months after I left. Then he hired another tech who took the playbook I left and opened his own shop across town. Good help is hard to find, forget that. Good management is hard to find. Oh, here's OP's response. OP says, I once had a job that required a, quote, working interview as the final step in the interview process. I basically worked an entire day for free. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. You need to refuse that ASAP. But I guess that's why this thread was made. Oh no, this is one I see a lot from user muy bien, y tú? Quote, we're just like family. No, work is not my family, okay? My family is my family. AKA cult or lot of overtime. Come on, we're family. You could do that for family for free, right? We don't have to pay you overtime or pay you at all because you're family. What a crock. No, sir, you are not my family. Blarg the Elder says, unless the business is an actual family-owned and ran business, this is almost universally meant to excuse the ownership's dysfunction. And an edit, because a lot of people seem to be missing the point, unless the place is ran or owned by people who are related to each other, anybody that says, we're a family, usually means we'd like you to pretend that we are a dysfunctional family, so you have to excuse all of our crap behavior. Closely related to the we're a family one is from Buaro, we're a good Christian company. Yes, welcome to my Christian Minecraft server. What the heck? Oh, you're banned. I've never been screwed harder by an employer than the ones that claim to be a religious-based company. Look, okay, Jesus wanted me to take advantage of you. Ain't no big deal. Now be a good Christian and bend over that barrel. Christians who make a point of letting you know that they're Christians tend to be the worst friggin' tippers as well. That's because their Christianity is performative only. Actually, this is way too scarily accurate, but it applies to many other religions than just Christianity. Teacher Brian says, how about those dollar bills disguised as witnessing pamphlets? You mean witnessing pamphlets disguised as dollar bills, right? Think you got a little backwards. Bright Nublar says, they already tipped God at church last Sunday. You're just bringing things he made anyways. Why should you also get a tip? Oh, the best satire is truly indistinguishable from real life, isn't it? Oh, if I had $1 for the number of times I heard, oh, we would tip you, but we put all our cash in the tithe plate when I worked at a cash-only breakfast spot. Yeah, They sure as hell knew to keep enough to pay for the meal, though. Kind of a get out of jail free. Also a get into heaven free. It's really a convenient card to keep on hand, I guess. Otto Prybar says anyone who has to say how great they are, Christian or not, is probably not that great. And that goes for people, companies, whatever you want. It doesn't just go for greatness either. We've seen it with nice guys like all the time. Buaro bumps it again. But we're a family. Oh no, my blood family kind of sucks. So you're not off to a great start. See, but families are allowed to be crazy. You don't get another one. You can easily go find another job. So why ever put up with that dysfunction? You don't have to. Houston on the Road says it's just like a car salesman who uses honest as part of their names. Honest Don's used cars. Yeah, completely trustworthy, right? I mean, to be fair, not as trustworthy as Ants in My Eyes Johnson.
I'm Ants in My Eyes Johnson here at Ants in My Eyes Johnson's Electronics. I mean, there's so many ants in my eyes.
Ladder Earth 1006 says there are many red flags from employers that people might not immediately recognize as red flags. Yeah, some less spicy red flags. Some examples include an employer asking you for your social security number before you've ever been offered a job, an employer requiring that you sign a non-compete agreement, or an employer making you take a drug test before you've been offered the job. I mean, I don't even have a joke for that. Yeah, that's just, he's preaching truth. Companies and recruitment agencies used to ask for tests all the time pre-COVID. Warehousing and factory gigs were pretty notorious for this, though I'm sure it happened in other low-paying sectors as well. Oh, you want me to go out and take a drug test? Can you ask me again in 30 days? I don't think I'm gonna pass right now. But thanks, though. Very quickly asking for your personal cell phone number. Oh, like as much as I enjoy having a mega computer in my pocket, it has also taken quite a toll on my privacy, right? They just call you up on your day off. Come on, man. Or your social media accounts. Oh, that's over. I gotta lie about the social media. They listen to one episode of Chris Trucker and it's over, bro. The job title says they're looking to hire rock stars. Yeah, rock stars that work 12-hour days. You don't realize how much of a revelation this is. They might also be looking for ninjas or gurus or any other dumb buzzwords. Just so they can make you feel like you've got a super cool, awesome job, and then they underpay you severely. I'm not a rock star ninja guru, okay? I'm a person who does a job and wants to be compensated fairly. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. I interviewed once at a very huge organization that had a site in the town that I was living in, and these guys were so proud of their new top-of-the-line facilities. And then they took me on a tour where they pointed out the lovely Zen garden that was made for employees to go unwind and clear their heads. The problem with it was that this area was positioned directly across from all of the higher-ups' offices. Yeah, no. I'm trying to be zen, and I've got my supervisor peeking out the window, probably taking a note of the time. He's been out there for 15 minutes. Should we do something? No, we'll just write him up. A similar one, they had an employee break area with games and TVs, snack machines, etc., but it was completely empty in the middle of the day. Looked like no one had used it in weeks. Yeah, this is one of those things where they're like, just buy them a ping pong table instead of offering them a raise. Throw a pizza party. And then the second you try to sit down and play some games on the TV and eat some snacks, in comes your supervisor and he's like, well, how long you been in here for? Bro, just forget it. I'm gonna finish my work, wrap up this hellish day, and then go home and play games on my own TV. Eat my own snacks. I bet those snacks they got ain't even free. PM me your boob overflow. What? Says, we work hard and we play hard. Translation, we require you to participate in our toxic workplace culture. All I wanted was a job that paid at least $10 an hour, and now I'm going ziplining with a bunch of people that I don't even like. I'll play hard by myself, okay? I think that's the way Jesus intended it anyways. Is this a Christian company? How about any variation of the bullpen? Don't call it that. It isn't funny. Yeah, you're essentially dehumanizing your workers. I don't know why that became a thing, but I don't think it comes from a place of reverence, unless you're Hindu. Interestingly enough, I work in an operations center with a room called the bullpen. Our operations manager was ex-Navy and named everything nautical. 3 rooms, the galley, the bridge, and the bullpen. Probably the only acceptable use, haha. I disagree with you there, disastrous moose. Ex-Navy implies that he ain't in the Navy no more. We don't need to call the kitchen the galley, okay? Your office is not the bridge. We're not floating on the water right now. This is a warehouse in the middle of the city of industry, okay? Get real. Robert Landrum, cool name. He says, asking you your life story. We're wanting you to outline a 10-year plan. Creepy cult vibes. I don't know, I feel like this one is a little bit of a reach, okay? They want to know a little bit about your background, your hopes, dreams, aspirations, probably so they can hold those over your head somewhere down the line. But I don't know, I'd probably give this one a pass. Migraine Last says, I think this is partially a holdover from the days where companies thought there was at least a chance that you would spend your entire career there. And if you were female, it was a sneaky way to ask if you planned to have kids. Oh yeah, planned pregnancies, that's how that works. HR types will spout some BS about your ability to set goals and plan, match values with the company, etc. But we all know that all they really care about is, are you going to cause trouble for us down the line? So glad company loyalty's been flushed down the toilet where it belongs. I'm all about that, honestly. Don't worry about the company. The company's going to be fine. You die tomorrow, they'll replace you next week. Take care of yourself, concentrate on yourself and those you love. My answer to the 10-year plan thing is always like, I'm just trying to make it through the day. And strangely, they never called me back. Asking if I plan to have children in the interview, I was 19. Bro, I'm not gonna be here long enough for you to worry about me having kids, all right? This job is a stepping stone. Go ahead, tell him. Tell him, OP. By the way, Emperor Penguin NJ wants to remind us that it is illegal in the US for people to ask such a question. Yeah, definitely illegal, but it was Texas 8 years ago, and I was 19 and dumb and answered honestly with a yes. Oh boy. I think it's for the best, honestly, that you didn't get hired here. That tells you all you need to know about their priorities. Yeah, you're not a match. The company values or whatever do not align. So good, I'm out. Found a better job, no problem. You ain't my friend Palooka says, I don't think an interview's the proper place to birth a child anyways. Somebody get that girl to the hospital. How Would I Know says they claim that overtime isn't mandatory and that workers stay longer by choice. Yeah, see? Because they're a family. They work hard and play hard. I don't like any of this. Seems like Darth Dragon also agrees. If the word family comes out of the interviewer or questions like, how would you describe your vibe? Oh, God. May Muddler has the best answer. Could be a trick question. I would hire anyone that replies, I would not describe my vibe. That is absolutely perfect. And that is another red flag. Trick questions. I don't think I've ever been asked a trick question in like a real interview, unless I just didn't realize that it was a trick, and that's why they never called me back. That's why I was relegated to making YouTube videos and hoping that it would become something. And look, it became something. Poor communication during the hiring process. Yeah, that's pretty basic. In my experience, basically everybody has poor communication though. They're like, go fill out the form online. We'll call you. They never call. Everybody is young in a very old company. I mean, that's an interesting one. Even the boss? I don't think I've experienced this. Although, yeah, it probably is related to a high turnover rate, like the help wanted sign in the window. I'm working in a company that's a decade old, but everyone has been in the company for about 4 to 5 months max. Only the HR has been there for 7 to 8 years, and honestly, with the crap they're pulling, I can see why people don't even stay to complete their probation period. What kind of stuff are they pulling? Give me the tea. I want to know all about this juice. You just leave it at that? Good Lord. Something's going on there. Edgar says, when you ask what's the best part about working there, and they address things like, oh, it's a great location, or we get free lunch, instead of saying what they like about the actual job or the company. Yeah, how about we make a difference in people's lives? How about I wake up in the morning excited to come to work? That might be a little bit overboard. Nobody's really gonna believe that. Oh. Great location. That's really scraping the bottom of the barrel, isn't it? When they say or try to make you sign anything pertaining to not discussing your wages with other employees. That's illegal, and it screams that people aren't being fairly compensated for their work. I've literally up and walked the hell out of jobs for stuff like this. I mean, it is illegal, but people do get a little weird talking about their pay, so here's what you do. If you really want to backdoor this situation, make friends with the lady that handles the payroll. Go out, have a few drinks, maybe you ask her some leading questions. I don't know. I can't live your life for you. Sweet Tea Vet says, I wish I could give this multiple upvotes. Being in the military from a young age, everyone knows everyone's pay. It was really bizarre to find out that it's a no-no to talk to other employees about your pay. The initial poster comes back and says, hey, employers try to make it a no-no, but it isn't. Talk away. And then you can find out that you're not being compensated as much as others for the job. What you do with that information is up to you. Walk in, demand a raise, walk out, never talk to your employer again. Although I probably wouldn't say anything at all until I had something else set up, and then I'm holding all the cards. Satisfied Fool says any job ad that doesn't mention the name of the company should raise suspicions. Doubly so if it's got anything to do with sales. Yeah. Cutco, dude, they almost got me. And my mom was like, what is that? Don't do that. That's a scam. My mother is a really wise lady. I got done in by that trick once, turned up to the interview, and the job was going door to door selling vacuums for Kirby Vacuums. I love the name of the vacuum, honestly, but I can't really agree with your business tactics here. Door to door sales in the current year? God, that just seems cruel, doesn't it? My friend did that, ended up liking it, eventually became a store manager, and is doing extremely well for himself. I tried to talk him out of it in the beginning, but he makes more than I do now, and he loves his job. I still agree with you though, but it did work out for one person, at least. Wow, that's some great anecdotal evidence. I'm gonna go get a door-to-door vacuum cleaner job right now. No. Probably the worst job I ever had was trying to get people to sign up for painting estimates. You go door to door, you knock on all the houses, you're like, hey, would you like a free painting estimate? And they're like, sure, come on in and do it. And I'm like, no, you have to schedule it. I'm not actually the guy. And then they're like, well, no, that seems really dumb. Bye. And trying to sell vacuum cleaners door to door. Like, I thought that was a joke, dude. You can get on Amazon right now and buy whatever vacuum cleaner you want. They'll deliver it to your house. I'm surprised door-to-door sales is not like a thing of the past already. Hubood says they say that they don't micromanage their employees. This is actually double speak for we will abandon you and provide almost no training whatsoever. I feel cut to the quick. This is my management style. Throw them into the deep end of the pool, and then they mess something up, and you're like, whatever. We'll fix it as we go, all right? There's no manual for this. You kind of got to feel it out. I do feel a little called out, and maybe it is a bit of a red flag, but at least we're a good Christian company. Oh, I kill me. Astromancer says either that or it means they absolutely do micromanage you, but also get PO'd when you call them out on it. Well, that seems kind of dumb, but also it does fit, you know, claim you're a great company, claim you're a nice guy, claim you don't micromanage, when in actuality, it's the exact opposite of all of those things. I had a dumb manager that micromanaged. He heard complaints of micromanagement, so he had a PowerPoint presentation to explain that he doesn't micromanage. Yeah, that's a good waste of half my day. Thank you so much. Dude said that other similar places micromanage, but way worse. So even if he does micromanage a little bit, it's not really that bad. You made this PowerPoint presentation to convince yourself. He also had slides to justify not allowing salespeople to have more than one creamer per coffee because it adds up to X a week and Y a month and Z a year. Look, okay, either provide the creamer or don't. So what? You losing out some money on the creamer. Hopefully your employees are skilled and motivated enough to make you that money back. You see, it's a little give and take. Holyalt continues saying, in an industry where providing lunch every Saturday is expected, car sales by the way, this dude messed with every single person's check if he knew they were leaving. Total scumbag. Was it called Honest Dan's Used Cars? I think I heard about that guy. I took great pleasure in getting my big commission check deposited and then quitting that day with no warning. I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Right alongside not towing the line with company loyalty, I say, yeah, we are work at will, all right? You can fire me anytime. I can walk out anytime. If I give you 2 weeks, that means you did a good job, all right? If I disappear, it's terrible. Forget it. Luke is on fire says, in fairness for my current job, when my now manager asked me what I hate the most about work, I told him that being micromanaged was a pet peeve. You see, that's a trick question right there. He laughed and told me that as long as the work got done in time and got done right, he didn't really care what I did with my time. Got offered the job, and it's one of the best jobs that I've ever had. Oh, you love to see a happy ending, honestly. I don't think micromanaging really does anything. You can provide notes, you can improve the formula, but to stand over somebody's shoulder and make sure that they're doing it right, ugh, nothing will make me angry quicker. Unknown L13 says, when they refuse to tell you what your starting salary would be, or when they just avoid that question altogether. Like, I didn't apply to this job to be a part of some family work culture. I came here to get a job and to be paid for it. 100%, honestly. Is money the only reason that you work? Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, you nailed it down. That's the whole reason that anybody does anything. You tell me what you think I showed up for. Yes, it's the money. Sauerkraut and Pepsi says, I went on an interview. They had me wait in the lobby. In the 5 minutes I was sitting there, 3 employees walked past me. The first just looked at me and laughed. The second said, leave. Leave while you can. The third made the sign of the cross at me. Well, if that's not foreboding, nothing is. Later during the interview, the hiring manager showed me to the Zen room. Is this like new company culture? God, I hate it. I don't want to meditate at work. Give me time to meditate at home. The Zen room was a quiet room you got to go to for 10 minutes when you got too stressed out. I was offered the job. I declined. Edit, 1, they walked by separately at different times. 2, you had to ask permission to use the Zen room. Pardon me, could I use the Zen room? I'm feeling super stressed out. And they're like, well, I'm gonna make a note of that on your report. Well, it says here you used the Zen room 10 times this quarter. Are you still mentally stable? No, I'm not. Because of this job, I'm not. Those other guys either played you or you dodged a bullet. Either way, neither bodes well for the workplace. So yeah, you dodged a bullet. What would be the point of playing a new employee though? Lots of people seem to agree with the getting played by the current employees, but yeah, what's the motivation there? Is this like a sales-based job? Lots of questions, zero answers, doesn't really matter. He dodged the bullet at the end of the day. Competitive pay, but they won't tell you what the pay actually is in the posting or even in the interview. It's minimum wage. It's always minimum wage, okay? Let's just get over that fact right now. Some guy that makes $1 million a year thinks that $8 an hour is competitive for the peons. This is why you see entire service industries falling apart right now, and I don't even feel bad about it. I hope it keeps going. Paladin IPG says, how about when they tell you they allow a certain number of sick days during training, but then they give you grief for actually using the sick time? I think this is not even during training. Everywhere I've ever been, they're really weird about actually giving you a sick day. Make sure you bring back a doctor's note. I didn't go to the doctor. I can't afford a doctor. It's a common cold, okay? I need to lay in bed and sleep and drink fluids and smoke marijuana and play Pokemon, but I don't talk about that part. I'm super sick, okay? Snarky McBeg to differ, probably the last one for this post. Always providing lunch so you don't leave your desk or the building. That is super, super tricky, dude. Nino Kuzma 24 says, this is what my buddy's job does. They'll pay for their lunch up to $12 every day. At first glance, it seems like an awesome perk. But after working there, he quickly realized how much of a toxic culture it creates. At first, he felt obligated to work through his lunch because the company pays for it, and he would feel ashamed to take personal calls during his lunch break. This is my lunch? Good God. It's so multifaceted. What a scheme. I would love this at first too, until you realize the implication. Oh, seems like a small-scale case of golden handcuffs. Another poster says some companies will offer their employees unlimited time off. So if you want a month off to go backpacking in Peru, you're totally free to do so. At a more normal company, you might only get 10 days off in a year. This person is going to use every single goddamn day because, yeah, that's what they're there for. If you give somebody 10 days, they're taking 10 days. But the first guy, he never goes to Peru, and he'll probably end up taking off less time than that other person. Maybe he'll take the odd Friday off, but yeah, that's about it. Because there's no clear rule of how many days you're allowed to take off. It makes you feel guilty about taking a week off, and you don't want to feel like you're taking advantage of the system either, so you just kinda never do it. I mean, most people never do it. Me, personally, I would go backpacking in Peru, provided the checkbook can't afford it. Do I actually think the job is still gonna be there for me when I get back? Not really, but I'll check in on him anyways. Brent, happy cake day. He says, I was at a company where employees were asking to switch to unlimited time off. HR said, no, because if we give you unlimited, you won't take it. And we want you to take all your time off so you don't burn out. Also, when you leave the company, you're entitled to get paid out for your unused time off. You are not entitled to anything for your unused unlimited time off. I mean, that's a strong point too. HR apparently has been down this road before, you know? It seems like they're doing what's best for the employee instead of for the company. Seems like, at least. Do they actually care about their employees burning out? I have my doubts about that. There's probably some state or federal law that says you need to take this much time off, and they don't want to violate that, right? Maybe? Are my hopes too high there? Probably. Anyways, that is this post. A new thing for the channel, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all the things. Always remember, friends, you're loved, you're worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.